I don't know how to find the camera. Ugh, it's hard. Okay. Hello, my favorite humans. I hope you are doing well. We have reached that time of the school year when we have to start memorizing things. And if you don't want to totally memorize, then you can write down everything on my amazing chart right here. Okay. So we are going to talk about clauses, because if you understand how to use clauses correctly, then people will be amazed at your intellect. It's kind of an expectation, actually. And if you don't write well with clauses, then people will say, well, that's stupid. And we don't want to be stupid. So learn the rules and use them and become even more geniuses level. Okay. What do we do with clauses? Well, first, what in the world is a clause? A clause is simply a group of words that are going to have a subject and a verb every time. So like, the man dances. Man dances. Okay, we've got an action, a subject and an action, a subject and a verb. Remember, though, that we can have verbs that are called am, are, is, was, were, will. Am, are, is, was, were, will. Remember that? So to be is a verb, and that's where am, are, is, was, were, will comes from. There can be two types of clauses. Number one, independent. Here's my chart for the independent clauses. And then this chart number two is for dependent clauses. So let's talk about the definition of both. First, how do we punctuate independent clauses? Well, an independent clause has a subject and a verb. And if we put a bunch of them together, separated by periods, then we could just have like an independent clause and then a period. It's hard to see that. And an independent clause and a period. And hey, look it, there's 6 independent clauses. Now we got a paragraph here, folks. All right, option number 2. If 2 independent clauses, 2 sentences, are very closely related, you can link them with that thing called a semicolon. Boom, right there. Or you can do a comma and a fanboys. Now, fanboys are just called coordinating conjunctions, but I really like the acronym. It helps me remember them. And so right there, I wrote comma for, comma and, comma nor, comma but, comma or, comma yet, comma so. I will have examples, gobs of examples for you later. All right, to the dependent clause we go. And up, there it is. Every dependent clause is going to also have a subject and a verb. I just have to look at the board because going mirror style, it's not going very well. A dependent clause is going to start with this AAAWWUBBIS acronym, and I like to call it the because that's going to start a subject and a verb. And these always rely on an independent clause in order to make a complete sentence. So you'll notice that here's my option number 1. If I have a dependent clause at the beginning of a sentence, I have to put a comma right after it, and then the independent clause can end the sentence. But if I flip them, my independent clause and then a dependent clause, I don't even need a comma. And we're going to practice those a gajillion times, so don't worry about it. Okay, here's my dependent clause, and I've got my arrow here saying that it's going to start with an AAAWWUBBIS word. And like I said, those are just called subordinating conjunctions as opposed to coordinating conjunctions for the fanboys. And there is a fancy song that some brilliant and brave middle school teacher came up with. So some of you may have already memorized this. And if you have, then you are steps ahead of the rest of us. Gonna get my performing face ready. Here is the song to help us remember the AAAWWUBBIS words that start dependent clauses. It goes like this. After, although, as, when, while, until, because, before, if, since. After, although, as, when, while, until, because, before, if, since. A woo-bis rolls off the tongue. Woo. These make all my dreams come true because they're making dependent clauses. Well, I tried. Okay, so whatever you need to do to memorize that the fanboys go with independent clauses to separate them if there's more than one, and that the AAAWWUBBIS words start dependent clauses. It's really nice when we have option number 1 because these words will start the sentence, and then you realize, oh, I'm going to have a comma. So, okay, I don't want to sing that song again. But if you can come up with a better version, something a little poppier than The Lion Sleeps Tonight, which is in The Lion King, by the way, then I'm all ears for some extra credit for you. All right, let's do some practices. Let's start a different video for that.